Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 67 of Direwolf 20's Let's Play series. I'm hanging out here on my little area, just getting pretty much set up for, I think, a new adventure. I think we've been doing a lot of building the last few episodes, haven't we? We've built some crazy stuff. We've got an awesome automated Cursed Earth mob spawn, where basically when you turn off lights, like that, a bunch of enemies will spawn inside that area and get killed pretty quickly. We've also been doing some crazy stuff with villager spawners so that we can get a lot of villagers going on. Hey, there's a zombie. And in here, we've got the ability to spawn as many villagers as we want, and then trade with them for all kinds of good and useful stuff, which we'll be using for Mistcraft pretty soon. And then we've also got a Wither Skeleton spawner, which will automatically collect all the drops and kill them using... Oh, hello there, Mr. Little Bat hanging out in the background. Ow. Kill them using the Beheader. Nice. And after all that killing, it really hasn't gotten much damage, so that's kind of good news. I like it. So we've got a lot done. And then finally, we've got the push a button spawn wither, which is one of my favorite builds. I push a button and a wither is spawned inside this super protected area that can't be broken by any tools at all. Ha ha ha. Including wither explosions. Nice. So now that we've got lots of nether stars, we also built, at the very end of last episode, something I want to automate at some point. I'm probably not going to do it this episode because I have something else I'd like to work on today. But what I would like to do is get in here and get this nether star generator automated. Remember, if you get too close to that nether star generator, your player will start taking damage if it's running. So we want to make it so that it's nice and far back there and it's not affecting anything, and it can fill up these 2 resonant energy cells when necessary. Those guys are kind of my emergency power conduit for whenever my quarry is running, like now, because the quarry drains quite a lot of power. I mean, if we come over here and take a look, we'll see that this thing is real quick to drain. Let's see. Yeah, see, we've already lost a significant amount of power from that. So we want to make sure that we have emergency power on backup and standby when necessary. So I think today, though, I'd like to start a little bit of an adventure. I'd like to go, I don't know, somewhere pretty cool to do some adventuring and find some really nifty and unique items that aren't available anywhere else. Let's go take a look at the Twilight Forest. Alright guys, so how do we get to the Twilight Forest? I'm glad you asked. We're going to go find a nice place to create a portal to the Twilight Forest. I'm thinking like somewhere just in this general area. It doesn't have to be anything too crazy. It's really pretty straightforward. I don't want it to be too far away from my main base here, but I do want to make sure that I can get there pretty easily. I'm thinking just like in this general area. Like maybe right here might not be terrible. Sure, this looks like a perfect spot to go to the Twilight Forest. And maybe even I'll fill in like that. So to get there is real easy. First, you're going to need a 2x2 pool of water. Okay, so just like I've got there. Now that pool of water needs to be surrounded by flowers. So we're going to have to kind of clear out this area a little bit. Put dirt here. And we can kind of do flowers however we want. I'm going to do it like this. Let's see. And then here. Just to make it look a little bit nice, right? I don't know if they have to be on the corners or not. I don't think so, but I guess it wouldn't hurt. We'll just leave it as is and see what happens. Then just drop a diamond in and stand back. All right, maybe they do need to be in the corners. Right here, 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 and here. Let's try that again. Drop a diamond in and stand back. Dun dun dun. Achievement get Twilight Portal. Ready to jump in? All right, I will meet you guys on the other side after the terrain is finished generating. Alright guys, looks like it's almost done generating this terrain, so let's jump in here and see what's up. Hey, I can't move. I can kind of jump, but then I get stuck. What's all that say? Technology, I can barely read that, is but a hindrance in this place. Sincerely your friends, the Endermen. P.S. will be coming for you soon. Enderman shenanigans, eh? That doesn't sound good. Let's see. I seem to be getting slowed and entangled here. What could be causing that? Technology is but a hindrance. Maybe it doesn't like my power armor suit. Let me take some stuff off here, see if it'll... Almost... no. It doesn't seem to be wearing off. Seems like it constantly refreshes. Let's see if I take all my power armor off. There we go. Cool. Alright, well, let's see if I can put it back on now. Yeah, I'm not good. That's not good at all. Oh, well, this is going to be a nuisance. Okay. So it looks like maybe having even one piece on. Oh yeah, now I'm totally stuck again. Looks like the legs definitely make you really, really stuck. That's not good. Well, I definitely can't explore this awesome forest like this, and I really don't want to do it without any armor on whatsoever. Technology is but a hindrance. I wonder if it's just because it doesn't like my power armor. Maybe if I had a different kind of armor that wasn't quite as technical, maybe I would be able to manage. Definitely not good. A little bit better. Alright. Well, I'm not sure how the endermen managed to get this done, but I'm not liking this whole "we'll be coming for you soon" message. I'm pretty sure I've been nice to them. I mean, all I did was capture one of them and endlessly clone him to farm ender pearls. They can't be too mad about that. Can they? Alright, so it looks like I cannot travel to the Twilight Forest in my power armor. Let me just try going back. Maybe one more time in and out will prevent this little craziness from happening here. Nope. Still stuck. Alright. Oh, look, it's... no. Definitely not good. This is a hassle. Alright, let's get out of here and see what we can do to hopefully come up with a better source of armor that won't be hindered by this crazy whatever the enderman did. I'll be back in a moment once I come up with a plan, because I'm really not sure what I'm going to do. There's a couple types of armor we've got available. I mean, this armor is not bad, but I think we can come up with something a little cooler than the mage robes here, because they really don't offer much by way of protection. Let's see what we've got. So poking around in the Thaumonomicon here, I discovered this little research note, runic armor. Let's go take a look. If I grab some scribing tools and some paper, I should be able to figure out what runic armor is all about. I'm going to do some research, and I'll be back in a moment once I'm ready to show you guys runic armor. There we go, research completed, runic armor. Now with that, I can automatically purchase runic boots the Traveler, which I absolutely want to get because they're very cool and useful. I'm going to need more volatus, so let's check this out. One of the upgrades, by the way, which is very useful, shift clicking onto what you want in a table here will automatically craft it with the appropriate stuff. Boom. Looking good. And I could get runic goggles of revealing if I really want to. That might not be a terrible idea. And then runic armor upgrades? Sure, let's purchase it. That sounds cool. So what's runic armor all about? Runic armor is a magical form of armor that hopefully will not be impacted by this technology as a hindrance thing the enderman put up. And basically, instead of actually being armor, it's really just protective magic that surrounds the player. So it doesn't even like render any armor on the player most of the time. And what you can actually do is have all these magical charms and seals that protect you from damage. Let's go ahead and craft one to check it out. So in order for this to work, we're going to need quite a bit of stuff. I mean, these are not easy enchants or infusions by any means. We're going to need a primal charm, which is the following. Oh wow, that's a lot of stuff. And let's see. Yeah, we're also going to need some scribing tools for each of these guys, some amber, some nitor, and some enchanted fabric. That seems to be the basic gist of everything that's required. We'll just need varying amounts of nitor and then some gold armor to actually infuse. So let's get started making the helmet, just because that's the first piece here listed. So we're going to eventually need 4 primal charms. So let's make sure we get everything we need for that. How are we on that stuff? We don't really have much of it at all. So let's get started, I guess, crafting up the Salus Mundus that we're going to need here. So that comes by way of either 4 mana beans and a shard or 2 ethereal essences and a shard. I don't know how I am for ethereal essence. We can take a look though. Oh, this thing got desynced. Let me go fix him. Yeah, we're not really good on ethereal essence, so I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to get some shards here. Now, obviously, I'm going to need 4 of each, and then I'm just going to grab whatever we have the most of, which apparently is either earth or air, so... But then I'll also do 4 of you for the 4 Salus Mundus that we're going to need. And I might as well just grab like a whole stack of gold. So let me get the stuff I need for this, and then I will be back in just a moment to get going what we need to get going. So let's see. This shouldn't be too bad. Cool. Alright guys, so putting together the first piece of this puzzle is actually something pretty important. It's this guy right here. Now I don't have much V left in my gold banded Greatwood wand there, but I should have pretty close to it. And you know what? Let's be like super smart about this and actually click into this thing so that, there we go. We're going to save ourselves just a little bit of V in our wand here. We should be able to get all 4 primal charms. Excellent. And then while I'm doing the next piece of this, I'm going to go ahead and recharge that guy. Alright, so now I've got the primal charms that I need, and I think I need to get like some Nitor, which you guys have seen enough of me doing, so I'm going to go do that off camera and get a couple of things ready to go. Alright, be right back. Alright, and I think the last thing we're going to need is just a few pieces of this magical enchanted fabric. So I'm going to get like 5 or 6 of them. I think I need 1 per item, but I'm just going to get all 6 because, you want to occasionally have some extras just in case you've got some issues with flux, which you never know, you might wind up having, even though we've got a lot of protection against it. So let's go ahead and make our first thing here. Let me just make sure I've got everything I need, and then we'll be right back to get it done. I'm going to start with the helmet, like I said. Alright guys, here goes nothing. Wish me luck. I am infusing my very first piece of runic armor. Now this is pretty expensive stuff, and there's basically a reason for that. It's really powerful and cool stuff. Yeah, it is. This is a very cool set of armor. If you've not seen it before, just wait until you see how awesome it is. So I'm infusing my first piece. What I'm going to do is I'll infuse this piece on camera, show you how it works, and then off camera I will infuse the remaining pieces of armor because I want to have a full set of this runic armor before much is done here. And then we'll probably wind up, hopefully, being able to go back to the Twilight Forest and not be encumbered by our technological prowess. Oh, those endermen. So there we go. Our first runic piece. Nice. So I'm going to take off my goggles of reeling and put on my runic headpiece. You'll notice that it's not rendering any armor on my headpiece right now. Cool. Look at that. But what it does do is actually look really neat when you take damage. So let's sneak outside here. Oh, right, I don't have any step assist going on. And let's find something to probably attack us. I have to go probably pretty far from my base before I can find any enemies. All right, here's something that looks like an enemy. So I am being protected by these magical runes. You'll notice that my heart bar now has these little rune markers to indicate how much this magical rune is protecting me. And I'm just taking down this earth elemental here, which is pretty hard to kill, believe it or not. But I should be able to take him down without too much problem. So what's happening is there's actually like a power meter on my player's runic armor here, and it recharges itself over a period of time. So you can see it charging itself back up. So now it's fully charged again, and my heart bar is fully covered in those runic symbols, indicating that I'm being protected by this magical armor. You'll also notice that once I remove this stuff, I really don't have much actual armor protection. With a full set, you'll have a little bit. There is a way we can upgrade that, but basically that armor will kick in if you take enough damage such that your runic armor is completely drained out of all its power. At any point where it's not recharged yet, you'll wind up taking damage to your actual health, and you'll also wind up having less armor overall. So we want to make sure to try and keep that runic armor as highly charged up as possible. So why don't I get 3 more pieces of armor here, same process pretty much of what I just followed, and I'll be back in a minute once I have a full set of this really cool gear. By the way, while you have one of these primal charms, I recommend you scan it. Nice. And suddenly Enderman sneaks up on me. What are you doing in here? And away he goes. Daytime, maybe he just came in to hang out from the sun. I don't know, I'm not trusting this guy. Let's see, I don't need you here. There we go. Last of the infusions coming up. Now, I've got all this armor set up, but you know how I like to run really fast? Because running is cool. Well, these guys don't have any speed run on them, except what we can do is combine our runic armor with our Boots of the Traveler and get runic Boots of the Traveler. We just need a slime ball to connect the runic foot piece with the Boots of the Traveler, and a little bit of magic here that I'm going to go ahead and get ready to infuse, and then we should be in good shape. So why don't I create some Boots of the Traveler here, and then we should be in really a good place for this. So I'll be back in a minute once I've got those ready, and you go away. There we go, quick little bit of infusion later, and we got this awesome set of gear. Dun dun dun. So let's take off all our power armor. We're going to put on all this cool armor, and we should have lots of runic protection. You'll also notice that different runic pieces have different charges. So the legs have 16, and the chest piece has 24. So we've got a lot of runic protection going on here. The rendering of the boots does render the runic boots of the Traveler. By the way, if you really want to, you can infuse the runic headpiece with the Goggles of Revealing, so that you can actually use your goggles and runic headpiece at the same time. So let's head over and see if this is okay to use over here. Dun dun. Hey, no slowness. Awesome. Now, just to be sure, if I put on any kind of power gear, frost low. That's not good. Frost load and entangled. Evil. Evil, evil enderman. Okay, fine. Fair enough. I'll just wear magical armor. Hopefully you can't ensnare me now. Much better. Alright, well, I can't really fly around too much, and I can't travel too far and too fast, at least not yet, but we'll definitely get to some points where we can, hopefully, using magic instead of technology to travel a little bit better. But at the very least now, I can explore this area. So I've got a nice sword that doesn't seem to be encumbered by these problems. The power armor I will not be able to use. I should see about getting some more magical protection. If magic is pretty much the name of the game out here in the Twilight Forest, maybe I should look at a few more components of Ars Magica that could help me out to explore out there. Yeah, I think that might not be a terrible idea. Why don't I put away some of these items and tools that I've got, clean up my inventory a little bit, and just make sure that I've got everything in my power here. I do have a nice lightning wand, so that if any enemies get in my way, I can zap them pretty well. And let's see, down here in the Ars Magica world, well, maybe I should make another spell or two and do a little bit more searching. I have been, by the way, casting spells every now and then. Remember I tell you that casting spells is the secret to gaining experience. So I should have a decent number. Yeah, 3 little points of stuff here. Not too bad. I'm thinking maybe I do have the healing ability, so that's good. I might want some offensive spells just to be ready. I mean, I do have fire damage and magical damage and stuff like that, so did I ever make those, or did I just go ahead and get them? Let's take a look. I'm pretty sure I made a basic fire damage spell, so I can at least use that. If I look for mana, it should... I could have sworn I made one. Is it in my bag, maybe? Oh, yeah, it is. Basic fire. Nice. So I do have a fire spell. Haha. But remember, of course, if you're casting this spell, you need to make sure that you're doing what you need to do. You have to actually hit something for it to actually do anything. So let me take a look here in the table, see if there's anything else I might want to grab before I go and head there. I might not. I'm just going to take a look and see what kind of cool stuff is available. All right, it doesn't look like there's much of anything that I can do, but I do want to make myself a quick spell book. This is going to be a nice way to contain and hold my spells. What you can do is items on the left side here in your spell book will always be available for casting, and items in the right slot is kind of like an inventory for you to keep other spells that you don't want to cast right away. So if basic fire isn't over here, basic fire is not on my spell bar on the top left. But if I do place it right in here, then it's available for me. And you'll see that I can hold shift and move the mouse wheel down, and I think there's a hotkey for your keyboard too to swap back and forth and scroll between the different spells that you have available. And then it's as if you have the spell in your hand, so you can just right click to cast, and it works just as well as having the spell in your hand. It's a very nice way to maintain all your spells. So got some spells ready, got some magic wands ready, a nice set of magical armor to protect me from that area. By the way, I can upgrade this armor, but it's pretty expensive to do so I'm going to try without for a while and see if I ever get to the point where I want to upgrade it. But we can do some runic armor upgrades. You can't put normal enchants on them, but you can upgrade them with something like the following. You can either get 20% quicker recharge for when you take damage, or you can increase the amount of runic armor that each piece has, so you can bump these numbers up from like 8. I think it bumps it up a decent percentage. You can have kinetic feedback, so that whenever you're damaged completely and it breaks down all the runic charms on you, it'll do a little bit of a detonation of energy, blasting away enemies. Or you can have a heal spell on yourself when that happens. Or you can have an extra shield boost when that happens. So when it when the shield is breached, it just instantly recharges a good percentage of your armor, but it has a 2-minute cooldown on that effect. And then finally, a nice upgrade to have if you think your armor is going to be breached a lot is the hardened upgrade, which basically doubles the amount of basic protection that the armor gives you once the shields are broken. So we've got some good stuff. What I think I need to do next is prepare. Let's see, do I have any tesseracts handy? I want to get one. Give me a tesseract. And let's also get, let's see, some landmarks and a couple other things, because I want to go clear out an area to call home and build a base on. So what I'm going to do is use the filler and a tesseract and some landmarks to make that happen. So the tesseract should be crafting for me, auto crafting of tesseracts, totally the way to go. And I'll be back in a minute when we've got everything we want. So let's start with a basic clearing as demonstrated here. I'm going to just set this guy to flatten mode and give him some tesseract power. Hopefully this technology won't give me any problems. I just need to configure this guy to receive only energy. There we go, receive energy and check. And what we should start seeing is the flattening of some terrain. Cool, back in a minute when it's done. And of course, like a noob, I almost forgot, I need to put a redstone energy conduit in between the tesseract and the filler because the filler doesn't run on redstone flux energy, it runs on buildcraft energy. Alright, now we should have terrain flattening happening. Oh, okay, so new information for you guys. Apparently, Horizon is the mode we should use now, not Flatten. Flatten did not seem to be doing what I would want it to do. Alright, so that's not too shabby. At least we've got a decent area here to build up a nice little base. Let's think about flattening out a little of this terrain over here as well. So I'm going to pick you up and just go off in this direction a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. Alright guys, what do you say we try out this house prefabricator that we made in a previous episode? So we're going to give this a shot, and we're going to use it for the first time to build ourselves a nice little base in the Twilight Forest. So step one, I went ahead and put a bunch of speed upgrades in this thing. So I'm basically hoping that that's going to work out. I'm also going to tell this thing to distribute based on energy amount, yeah, that'll probably, I like using energy amount instead of percentage. So, I mean, overall, I think that's a pretty good deal. Is this thing, you're not actually on or anything, are you? Okay, good. So you're not running, right? Okay, you're ready to go. Let's build ourselves a house. No, that's not what I want. Oh, right, I need to put the scale modules and everything in, don't I? The translation modules. I think I borrowed them previously. Let me get that set up correctly again. All right, that looks pretty good, right? So all I should have to do now is turn this guy off real quick. Grab ourselves the collection module, field stabilizer module, that's what I'm going to want. And field stabilize this guy. Hopefully this works out pretty well. Cool. I'll be back in a moment when it's done building me a house. With these speed modules, by the way, it's significantly faster. It is draining a lot of power, though, but I'm hoping that this thing can keep up long enough. If not, I'll probably need a few more speed modules, either in here or in here. We'll see. Yeah, this guy's definitely draining fast. Holy cow. Alright, back in a minute. It's almost done building. Alright then, so for purposes of demonstration, let's see how this is going to work. What I need to do is click on the ground somewhere, and that's where I want the house to appear. So all I got to do is test it by placing this linked card here and flagging this guy with the red dust. And what we should see is exactly what's going to happen. So the house should be centered on the point where I clicked. Let's actually double check that just to be super sure. What I'll do is I'll click on like the spot here right in between these two holes. That works, right? And then we'll test this out by dropping this guy right in here, and we'll see what kind of craziness we come up with. So what's going to happen? Is that the center point? Yeah, I'm going to call that the center point. It looks nice and centered. Good. So that is the relative position. So what I'm going to do now is take this card into the Twilight Forest and deposit it. Now, many people can make the argument that, hey, Dyer, in the time it took you to build this crazy contraption, you could have just built a house. You know what? All right, I have to take off my armor. You are correct. But this is a lot more fun, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm thinking like right here, maybe? And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it like maybe like right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be good. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens, right? This is the first test of teleporting our prefabricated house to an alternate dimension. I'm a little excited, I'm not going to lie. Let's see what happens. Alright, so when I plug this guy into here, it should drastically increase the time that it's going to take to transport. Yeah, it's going to be about 2 full minutes, a little bit more. So let's go ahead and activate. And you know what I could do if I wanted to is snag a few speed upgrades. Come here, you open up. And this is me forgetting that we need to chunk load the area that's the destination for this thing to land. Remember, the server will crash if you forget to do that. It's a bug that I've reported to Calclavia, so he's aware of it. He's working on a fix. It might even be fixed in a newer version. But let me just chunk load like a nice large area here. There we go. Now we should have a better situation with teleporting. So let's try that again, shall we? This time without the server crash, I would hope. It's not like it destroys your server, it just crashes and you have to restart it, and you want to get the card out of there real quick as soon as it comes back online, otherwise you'll have a problem. So let's try that again. So now we should be able to place this in here. We'll see it's 132 seconds, and if we really want to, we could probably, that's right, it's in here. There we go. This guy, speed module comes out. If we put the speed modules in here, it'll probably increase the cost a little bit, not a ton. Doesn't look like it's reducing the time that it's taking to teleport, though. So I guess speed module is not really going to help out there. So let's activate this thing and see how it goes. So I'll catch up with you guys in about 2 minutes once this guy teleports to where he needs to be. I would like to kind of get in there. And then I can teleport with it. Cool. I'm loving this. Teleporting our prefabricated home. I like it. Let's do it. Meet you guys in the Twilight Forest. Oh, I'm so getting excited here. Teleporting. Oh, I think we're almost there. Come on, teleporter. Let's go. Now we're talking. Look at that. Downloading terrain. So if I'm correct... Oh, that is cool. Alright, so it happened to place it in such a way that the door is facing the wrong direction, but that's okay. I mean, obviously, if I wanted to, I think there's some way I could do it so that that could rotate, but that's easy enough to fix. Look at that. How cool. I'm loving that feature. Oh, man. That is awesome. Alright, so we've got a new house here. Cool. I love it. Let's go ahead and just set up a couple basic things that we might want to have with us here in the Twilight Forest so that, you know, we can enjoy our time. I want to make sure, I'm not sure how uphill step assist will work with this. It might be a problem. Let's see. Yeah, see, it's always a little funny, but uphill step assist actually breaks the ability to have something like this here. So that's okay, you don't really need it. But we should at least have a door to protect ourselves. And I'm thinking there's a couple other things I might want to have available for me. Let's head back home. What I would like to do is have an armor stand pretty much on hand and ready to go with some of the stuff I might want. And I don't know, a couple other things we might want to have for our Twilight base. Alright, one thing I'd like to do is create some link books here. And I'm going to get another, let's get a book stand. You know, let's do this. A lectern or two. And we can set this guy up right over here. Ready to go. Cool. And we'll do something similar right here on the other side. Of course, that's not where I wanted that to be, but that's okay. So we'll put this guy probably right here, with this thing here. A little bit of lighting just to make sure we don't have any enemy issues. We'll do that, and we'll make this guy, there we go, so that we can easily teleport back and forth between the Twilight Forest and the overworld. Alright, stop desyncing. There you go, much better. Twilight Forest, nice, I like it. The other thing I want to do is place an armor stand here so that if I'm, for example, wearing my power armor when I come here and, oh right, I got encumbered, I can just swap out from my magical armor set and my encumbrance will disappear. I can, you know, go explore, do whatever I want to do, and then when I get back, I can switch my armor set back on, and yeah, I'll get encumbered again, but I can just jump right back over to the overworld, and then that encumbrance should wear off. Excellent. Nice and healthy again. Alright guys, I think that's a nice, simple base setup. I mean, it's nothing terribly fancy. I don't even have a pressure plate here yet. Maybe I'll go get one of those real quick. But long story short, I should be able to now explore the Twilight Forest without too much of an issue. What I'm thinking I would like to do, and let me just get one of these guys. Cool. Is come back next episode, because we have kind of hit the wrapping up point here now that we've done all this preparation, and start doing some actual exploration. So we'll come back, we'll start checking out what the Twilight Forest has to offer. If you guys haven't seen much of the Twilight Forest before, you're in for a real treat, because there is a lot of cool stuff out here to check out. Now, obviously, I can't just start flying all over the place, because I'll be encumbered by those nasty endermen who decide to toy with me. Evil endermen. But that's okay. I will wind up, exploring using these nice runic boots of the traveler. And there are a couple other magical ways that we can get around even better than what we've currently done. But I'll hold off on that for a little bit and start taking a look at those magical options a little bit later down the line. There's some really cool places to check out here. So I'll be back next episode, and we'll start exploring what the Twilight Forest has to offer. For now, this is Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and as always, take it easy.